Today, 8 out of 10 of our grocery purchases are made through our supermarkets. That means their shelves are the place to be for many of Britain's aspiring food producers. And I'm on my way to see one today.
I love any business that produces food. I'm a food producer myself with the bakery, but this is a highly competitive market.
One such small business trying to compete is Yorkshire-based Heck, purveyors of quality sausages. Owners Debbie and Andrew Keeble have a passion for crafting artisan bangers.
We've got the pepper.
2 grams of grated nutmeg.
An obsession that has taken over their lives and home.
We used to butcher pigs on here. There's a meat cleaver mark there and there, where I missed.
It's aiming for me. We started our first business with a £15,000 loan, which we'd taken out to buy a car. But we decided there's no point having a car if we couldn't afford to go anywhere, so we bought a sausage machine with it instead.
Launched in 1999, Debbie and Andrew's sausages quickly became a best-selling brand, bagging them an annual turnover of over £5 million. But when a merger took an unexpected turn, they ended up losing the business.
It really was Debbie's baby, that brand. So it was a terrible wrench for Debbie.
They'd devoted 12 years to a product they believed in. But now it was back to square one.
We had to start again. And this is how Heck came about. It was one of those moments where you say, what the heck, come on. We have to start again, and that's why we called it Heck.
They've just taken the biggest gamble of their lives, investing everything they had in a brand new sausage business. And it's no small chipolata, employing 11 staff and churning out 250,000 bangers a week.
Is that working? Fingers crossed. Don't you love the Russians? Fingers crossed, you know.
Their dream is simple.
Set it going, set it going.
To get into bed with the big 5 supermarkets. And in just a few short months, this small player has already achieved a place on Tesco's shelves.
Yeah, I love sausage. I love making sausage.
This time, they've roped in the kids. With little experience, they've all been handed senior titles.
It is really good working with your parents. It's just easy.
I suppose people looking at us might think that we are well-heeled. We do live in a very nice house, but it's not ours. We rent it. The farm is on rented land, the factory is rented.
All of our assets are betrothed to the business.
Second time around, they cannot afford to fail again.
There's an awful lot of pressure on us because, you know, it's their future, it's not just ours. If it goes down, we all go down.
Although they're in more than one supermarket, current sales are nowhere near enough.
We'll do probably £2.5 million this year, so we're hitting our numbers, but the profitability isn't there. We've had losses of between 10 and 20 grand a month.
We've got £250,000 loan for sausage equipment.
Currently an overdraft of £50,000.
We've invested probably £600,000 or £700,000 in building the brand, in working capital, in... I don't know where it goes.
And the pressure is on. Their place on the Tesco shelves, which accounts for 85% of sales, is up for review in just 3 months' time.
We do have to start making some money pretty damn quick, and we've also got to get some more customers because at the moment all our eggs are in one basket, and that's not a great position to be in, really.
Stress is not my best friend, but he's always with me.
The potential for this small business is huge, but right now they're hemorrhaging cash. I've just 14 weeks to help turn a profit and steer the dreams of a family legacy back on course.
I've never been told what to do. I hate that. But if we need help.
I can't wait to get to Heck. It's a small company playing in a very competitive market, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they fit in with the bigger boys.
I want to get to the meat of the business at Heck's bespoke new sausage factory.
Hello, good morning. How are you? You well?
Very well, thank
Good.
you. It's very nice to be here. Thank you
great to
for
have you. Welcome.
inviting me. Who are your customers?
Our customers are Tesco's, which is fantastic, and they backed us for the first year, which is great.
It's interesting because we've taken completely different strategies in our businesses. We've been approached many times by supermarkets, but we've made a conscious decision not to get involved with them just because we know how difficult it is to manage that relationship.
The top 5 supermarkets account for 70% of all sausage sales, giving them immense power over their suppliers. So Andrew's heavy reliance on them is a very risky strategy.
So this is your best-selling product?
It is, yeah. It's the Heck 97. It's 97% shoulder pork.
This makes you the least money of all your products, doesn't it?
It's the highest meat content,
Yeah, lowest margin.
It's the lowest margin, but it's a great driver.
No, I understand that, Donny,
Yeah.
but we have to talk the business side of things because actually, you know, it's lovely to have a product to be so proud of, but the margins are much lower.
The product he's selling most of is 97%, and that's a product that has the lowest margin. And one of the main problems his business is facing is that it's not making any money. Well, you know, it doesn't take great genius to correlate those two sides of the argument.
Do you like leading on or what?
No, I follow you. I don't know where I'm going.
OK, should we go and have a little look and see where it all begins?
They're all hand-packed, then?
Everything's hand-packed, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, on the shelf, they've got to look good.
The humble sausage is no longer seen as a budget option. The industry is worth over £700 million, with premium brands accounting for over 30% of all sausage sales. But producing such quality comes at a cost.
And we're very proud of our bold chopper. It's a Sadelman, which is, if you're going to buy any machine in the world, that's the one that everybody wants to have.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's a £70,000 piece of equipment. Just to keep it going, Roddy, all the time, I think, maybe. Is that all right? To keep
Yeah, of course. Don't want people standing idle.
We don't want that. So come through to the link cutter here, another nice new bit of equipment.
Very nice. Another expensive bit of equipment.
It is a nice bit of equipment, yeah.
Andrew has borrowed big time to buy top-of-the-range German machinery. But with their biggest seller delivering little return, is this family putting passion for their sausages over profit?
Hello,
I'm Alex. Hi.
Nice to meet you.
If Alex is going to see Debbie, she'll definitely get an insight into the finances. You know, Debbie's no slouch on figures, so she's a forensic accountant, is Debbie.
This is where we get to talk turkey. Apparently, you are the business brains. Do you think you're good at it?
I'm the best in the family.
That's skirting the issue, dear. So, if you look on your profit and loss sheet, what are the things that are of most concern to you?
It's sales. We're just in one supermarket chain on a national basis, and we need more to...
And I believe that contract's up for discussion, isn't it, fairly soon?
It is, yes.
Obviously, that's a nerve-wracking moment. I'm assuming you have a good feeling about the fact that they're going to renew. But if they don't, what will you do?
If we don't raise the awareness and increase the rate of sale, then we probably won't be here next year.
So, let's say you've got another year. What would you like to achieve in that year? What do you think? Where do you think you could be? Where would you like to be?
Well, personally, I'd like to be the #1 premium brand. And I think it's achievable.
OK.
Yeah, I think it's doable.
Jamie?
National, every supermarket in the country, it's definitely achievable.
Ellie?
Just to be well known for having a good quality sausage that every family likes to have, and just...
You know, it's very interesting because what none of you said was making this company profitable. It's all about reputation. It's all nice, fluffy, great ethos, wonderful belief in your product, pride. But, you know, businesses are successful because they sort out the bottom line. We're in a very tough financial environment and no one's putting out a helping hand, are they? No. So you have to help yourselves.
We want to make money. We want to, you know, put all that debt behind us and ensure that we stay a family business in the future.
I mean, the big headlines are that, you know, you have one customer and if they disappeared tomorrow, you'd be in deep shit. But it's, you know, worth remembering that Britain is a nation of small and medium enterprises, and you know, although the supermarkets have 80% of the food trade, there is a lot of food suppliers who are doing exactly what you do and doing it successfully, so there's no reason that you shouldn't be one of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Now I've met the family and I can clearly see what they're up against. Poor sales with dismal profits and all their money tied up in the business. And to top it all, their biggest customer, Tesco, could pull the plug on their contract in just 12 weeks' time.
I have a lot to think about tonight.
I need to begin this process by seeing exactly how the customer perceives heck on the supermarket shelf. The supermarket has the potential to turn a small business into a multi-million-pound heavyweight. But with over 400 sausage varieties all fighting for your attention, it's crucial that your brand stands out.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm well, you?
Good. Hi,
So, I've brought the family to York, to one of around 500 Tesco stores currently stocking heck sausages.
My aim is to understand how their sausage packaging and their product sits on the shelves alongside other products, why people buy them and why they may choose not to, how effective their packaging is and what they need to do to market themselves better.
To see how they compare to the competition, I've arranged to meet Amanda Peabody, supermarket retail guru and brand advisor.
First of all, I'm interested in position on the shelf and what it says about their brand and what immediate competition is.
The fixture's laid out in very much a good, better, best. So the more value products are at one side. These would be classed as medium products going into the sort of more premium end. Typically, products near the bottom are quite high volume. The lowest selling lines tend to be at the top, and actually top left is sort of the coldest spot of the fixture. So here you do have a really, really good shelf position. They're really supporting your sales by putting you in a position that is the best on the fixture.
But cheaper own-label brands account for almost half of all grocery sales, and it's a figure on the up. So how does a small food brand stand out from the crowd?
What do you think the heck message says as you see it there on the shelves?
In all honesty, I don't think it's very easy to understand to the consumer. And I think there's some key messages that are missing off the pack in terms of what is your unique selling point? What is it that you do differently, or what makes your product more special than theirs? Yeah. You're a small business, making it within the family with care, within your own.
It's got to be independent.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And actually the key things that other big brands almost have to sort of like create, and you have it naturally. So that gives you a strength because you have a difference to a Tesco Finest product. And I don't think the brand at the moment is probably shouting that strong enough.
What do you think are the most important messages that should jump out at
Customers at the moment really like provenance. People are really, really interested in terms of where their food's come from, how it's been made, where the ingredients are from.
Through all these scandals, these food scandals that we keep having, that traceability is so key, isn't it?
What we were trying to do is to say, well, it all goes without saying. You know, if they want to know more, they can find out about it. But the quality of the pack should portray that everything goes without saying.
Nothing goes without saying. Although the Keebles know their product inside out, they can't assume the customer will.
But apart from a Union Jack, it's not very clearly saying British pork. There's nothing wrong with actually saying you're a Yorkshire business. Yorkshire tea has travelled across the world.
They bought quite a lot of the packaging to keep the cost down, and so we can't suggest to them that they do anything dramatic. But I'm wondering if the kind of sticker option of something, we could do something like that with provenance.
Yeah.
It's very immediately visible again.
Yeah, it's quick as well.
I think the challenge is that customers spend such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
People want to get in and out as quickly as possible, and there's typically 36,000 products for them to look at, so therefore a strong website and social media becomes more important.
Kids, you're very quiet. Come on, what do you think? What do you think of all these ideas that are coming
I like everything
up?
you're saying. It's making complete sense to me.
I honestly believe that the internet and publicity are part of this, because what you want to be doing is driving people to your website, suggesting different ways to... maybe you have new recipes up.
But how much do people look at recipes
Oh
online?
my God,
No,
darling,
loads.
it's in the world? There's no one buys a cookery book anymore. It's all blogs and, you know, it's, you know, if you want to appeal to the younger person, you've got to get with it.
Yeah.
I'll have you in a pair of skinny jeans in no time.
You bloody well.
Andrew's reluctance to get with it is not their only worry. Having sunk thousands of pounds into design and packaging, Amanda's comments are hitting hard.
I think if I was going to take one thought back from today, it's the message.
Our own message, our brand message, really. It's not standing out enough.
I thought people would look at the pack and say, heck, that sounds interesting, turn it over, read about it, and then understand why heck. But
They just haven't done that. So it's been a bit of a failure on that front, hasn't it?
We're going to get some real big competitors with deep pockets. So yeah, it's not easy.
Amanda identified a few weaknesses in your branding. Now, we all know that we are not going to chuck out the old packaging, but I'd like you to look at samples of stickers that you might put on, how you might improve the information about the provenance, as she said.
Yeah.
You are the very opposite to a corporate faceless entity. And we've got to make sure at every stage that point is hammered home.
Yeah.
And I think you're not doing it well enough at the moment. And so these are just the first small steps, but I'm very keen to take them. The supermarkets have huge buying power over their suppliers, enabling them to dictate the price they pay. In 2012, hundreds of farmers blockaded milk plants across the UK, arguing that they are paid less in the cost of production for their milk. Heck's current bestseller accounts for more than 3/4 of sales, but it only returns a tiny 3% profit. Because they can't increase their sale price to the supermarkets, their only option is to lower production costs to increase margins. And I found out their seasoning amounts to £200,000 a year. I want them to see if they can produce a similar or identical seasoning to the one they're currently buying in at enormous expense, to see if they can cut down their costs.
What are the ingredients we're looking for the Heck 97 then? So we believe
Ginger,
salt,
and
pepper,
nutmeg.
ginger, nutmeg.
And then if we cut it in half and we put a little bit of cream with one of them. Oh, my word!
I was going to take it out.
Don't put it back in there, because it'll come... Please.
This is how most product development starts in our house, and that's sort of on the kitchen table. Where tempers fray quite a lot. It's all got different opinions on it. And usually I think I'm right.
I'm saying nothing. Is yours right, Ellie? No.
I am.
No, you're not.
What?
The world
Right.
according to Andrew Keeble. Right.
Again, I'm not wrong.
So, salt.
Each of their sausages contains 1 pence worth of seasoning. So by just saving an ounce here, or substituting an ingredient there, they could save thousands.
What we currently have is a pre-weighed premix. Everything's in here, preservative, salt, pepper. It makes it very easy for us.
But it's convenience at a cost.
That bag there is £6.65 a kilo. Salt is 12p a kilo.
4 hours and 2 new mixes later, they think they've made something as good as the original.
I think it's nice. Really, really nice.
Most importantly, is there a potential saving?
8.7% is ginger. This would be £1, 3 pence a kilo.
Compared to 6.60.
6.65.
When I looked at the overall annualised saving of it, it was like a train hitting me, really. We're going to save £170,000 a year.
Well,
It's absolutely incredible. It's the profit that we're lacking in the business at the moment.
It's a good start, but will the supermarket buyers think it's good enough for their shelves? To put it to the test, I've arranged privileged access to one of the country's high-tech food development kitchens, Morrison's HQ in Bradford, where their experts will scrutinise the seasoning for us.
There's about 2,000 people who work here, and in their product development kitchen, they test 6,000 independent products and between 7,000 and 10,000 Morrison own label products. So they're busy.
Morrison's is the second biggest fresh food manufacturer in the UK. Every single item of food bought by their 11 million customers each week has passed a rigorous taste test by one of their skilled chefs.
Neil.
How you doing, Alex?
Very nice to see you. Thank you.
Neil Nugent is the executive chef of product development.
What kind of scrutiny do you put products through then?
Oh, there's no stone unturned. We look at absolutely everything. So from a sausage, it's meat content. What type of meat? Is it shoulder? Is it belly? The seasonings, everything is key. The skins, everything is absolutely key.
Hi, these are the Keebles.
Hi, nice to meet you.
I've also invited Tony Goodger from the British Pig Executive, who's been judging sausages for 12 years.
I've sampled about 5,500 and some have been fantastic and some keep me awake at night. They're terrible.
But before the taste test, their raw porkers get the once-over.
So what we do is we start with the raw sausage and we look and see, is it sort of an even size? Is it of a nice, consistent colour? And then see if they're fresh. And ideally, they shouldn't actually smell of anything. And these actually don't smell of anything, so they're nice and fresh.
I think it is worth pointing out, the more meat in a sausage doesn't necessarily make it a better sausage. So
Taste-wise, you mean?
Yeah, and texture.
Yeah.
Because it is good to get a balance of your fat content and your seasonings, so you get a good moist sausage. So often if you go too much meat, you can get quite dry.
So are you nervous about 97%?
Over to you guys, see what you think. I don't want to influence you one way or the other. We're here for advice now.
Yeah, the proof's in the tasting, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's taste test time. Ready to be compared and contrasted is Heck's current sausage with the family's 2 new seasoned varieties.
It's good firm sausage when you cut into it. And that's got a really good depth of flavour, really meaty.
That's a nice rounded seasoning.
The notes sort of continue in your mouth after you finish swallowing the product, so it gives you that sort of longevity of flavour.
A little salty for me.
A bit too salty.
You have to have a bit of salt in there because, of course, salt is a preservative as well. And it is
That's
important that we
natural.
don't just take all the salt out of the product because otherwise we'll be sacrificing shelf life.
Your spices are starting to
Yeah.
come through. Nice finish of pepper.
It's not masked out by excessive seasoning. I think what you've got is a complementary seasoning that just lifts the flavour of the pig meat.
The moment of truth. If either of the new seasonings are the taste of success, Heck could be seriously quids in.
Go on.
Oh, I'm definitely this one.
They've both plumped for the new cheaper seasoning at just £1.28 a kilo.
The seasoning, that's your man.
Yeah, it's definitely got the taste.
It's really good.
Oh, good.
Thank you very much.
Well, I was very worried that this might go horribly wrong and he might prefer the original.
Potentially could be 150 grand a year saving.
Wow.
We've never made 150 grand.
Wow.
Ever.
£150,000 saving and a better sausage.
Yay!
Can't really ask for that.
Yeah,
Gosh,
brilliant.
thrilled. Win-win.
I know. We're all thrilled. Next project.
It came out surprisingly well for us, and it was as we'd hoped, really. So I'd say it was a success.
Yeah, seasoning tick, definitely.
This is a massive breakthrough, but Heck still desperately need more sales.
Captain Mannering. Yeah, I'll go outside and close them. You pop them if you like.
In case their supermarket strategy goes belly up, I think the family need a backup plan and should look at alternative customers like the catering sector.
Gently with those lights.
To break into new markets, an excellent sales and marketing team is essential. And this role has been handed to Jamie with Ellie's assistance.
It's great having my parents as a boss because I can sometimes tell them to F off.
18-year-old Ellie left college to start taking a role within the business.
I'm basically the marketing manager.
Ellie struggles a little bit to get out of bed, but we'll get there in the end.
She's got a huge potential, but she's a bit manana. Ellie, what happened to the white van?
Crushed it. The box fell on Saturday night.
We've asked our own van into our own van.
Yeah.
It's a brand new bloody van.
My dad, he does let me off with pretty much everything.
Glad you can all laugh about it.
Well, it's only bloody van, isn't it?
And it's not just Ellie who gets an easy ride.
I How many fines do you think we pick up in Jamie's parking fines and speeding fines a year? It's about £4.5 a year in fines we pick up.
My mother pays the parking fines, but, you know, I think they're on commission or something, the parking wardens, you know, they're really always out to try and get you.
He should be on a computer this afternoon spreading the gospel a little bit about the business, and he won't be, he'll be off down the fucking gym.
Hi.
Time to see just how seriously they're taking this business.
So, tell me about what you do for the company.
Well, we're kind of in charge of the marketing side.
Marketing and sales.
Sales and marketing is a very specific discipline.
Yeah.
You're quite young. You've never worked for anybody else.
No.
Didn't you ever think of working somewhere else first before coming and joining the business?
No, I didn't. I preferred the idea of working with family. It is a lot easier. I think it's just a lot better than just having a normal job.
It's just, you see, I'm not trying to be mean.
Yeah.
I just understand, you know, I know family businesses,
Yeah.
and I know the pitfalls and the pleasures of them. The pitfalls are that you don't have someone saying, prove to me that you're worth your job. How many sales have you made? How many people have you converted? Show me your figures. Show me your plan for this following year. Show me to what extent what percentage of your goals you've achieved. You know, all these things, if you're working for another company, you would be expected to provide. Yeah, to make sure that you add value to the company. Because there's no point in you being employed for heck if there's someone else who could do, on your salary, do your jobs better. Would they have more fire in their belly to do more? I mean, that's, you know, that's a basic truth.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to prove to me that you're the best people for the job. I don't mind the kids doing their jobs with no training, but I'm a great believer in sending your children out to get some experience before bringing them into the fold, because then they've got something to bring to the party. At the moment, they have a title and responsibility, but really no knowledge of how to do their job. And I don't think that's fair on either the business or the children.
It's now just 10 weeks before their biggest supermarket client decides whether to relist Heck or not. In an attempt to find new customers beyond the supermarkets and to see if Jamie and Ellie muster it as a sales team, I've lined them up to pitch to the canteen at a large local grammar school.
I want to know, my intention is not to humiliate you in any way, okay?
Yeah.
I just think that the reality is every time you go anywhere and pitch for this business, you have got to be the very best that you can be. There's no point having the best product in the world unless you've got a really good sales pitch, yeah?
And that's really, really good news.
Yeah?
Although they've not pitched to the service industry before, this should be a routine task for head of sales, Jamie.
I've not really had a bad meeting yet where I've sort of been thrown by anything, so, you know, I know pretty much everything there is to know anyway.
I would expect some preparation for any new client, especially one in a new territory.
So have you got all your bits?
Yeah, I think so.
But Jamie and Ellie appear surprisingly laid back.
Ellie?
Andrew is the one driving this forward.
Right, come on, they all want to go.
Good. Come on, a bit of enthusiasm here, you two.
Goodness me. On such short acquaintance, it appears to me that Jamie and Ellie are lazy. They don't have much get up and go about them.
The independent grammar school at Leeds serves up more than 1,000 sausages a month.
There's no reason to pep talk you. But it's nice to see you smiling. It's nice. Are you a bit grumpy as we left the house?
Grumpy, just tired.
Yeah. Mr. Murphin, hi.
Andy Murphin, hi.
Hoping to give hospitality manager Andy Murphin food for thought, they've bought their top-quality premium sausage and their everyday cheaper version.
This is our 97% pork. It's a very meaty texture too there.
It is a very meaty texture. It's a very good texture. So what is your best price then?
That's about 30.5 pence per sausage.
Right.
How are you on that price?
That's quite expensive then,
It's quite
isn't
expensive.
It?
Yeah. What are you currently paying?
20 pence.
20 pence a sausage?
Yeah.
The most I could probably go down is maybe 50p off a case.
So what would you... It's not very good, isn't it?
No?
No. Sorry. No.
Their premium sausages may be out of price range, But Jamie's totally forgotten the cheaper 85% version cooked up, sitting right beneath his eyes.
I thought you'd bought some 85%.
We have, which is that one there.
Which you never encouraged him to try.
Do you know what? That completely slipped my mind. Yeah.
So do please try it. They've cooked it. Is there a difference in the prices between the 97 and the 85?
There is, but I don't have worked out the prices for those.
Honestly, I've been working 4 days with their business, and I think I'd be more prepared to do a pitch than he was. And I think Ellie missed her opportunity to show me her people skills, because they weren't in evidence either.
The product's very good. I think they were a little bit underprepared. They didn't handle the figures particularly well because they only had one figure that they'd base things on. The young lady didn't really say a lot.
I would have liked to have seen you talk more. And I would like to believe that next time you do a pitch that you are much more up to the ball with it and that you have those facts and figures at your fingertips.
Come on, we didn't have long to prepare though, so I mean...
I know, but I've had 4 days with the business, and all I'm saying is that you should be thinking on your feet when you do something like that.
I'm not going to think too much about how it went, because I know if I had more time, I would have done a lot better. And,
I'm not asking you to beat yourself up, darling, but
I'm not beating myself up about it, but
no.
I'm disappointed at the fact that I could have done a lot better if I'd known more.
Sit down with your dad and work out pricings on everything. Because you should be able to rattle that stuff off at the tip of your tongue.
Yeah,
and should be
just to let you know, I mean, we don't do catering at all.
Well, I feel very frustrated by how Jamie's reacting to my criticism. He's extremely defensive, and in fact, he was too cocky entering into this. I don't think he was nearly prepared enough with some basic information. And he said several times, I'm not going to look into it too deeply. Well, I think he should. And I think he should ask himself quite seriously what he could have done better and how we will do it better next time.
A little bit disappointed, just because I didn't really know my stuff on this occasion.
You found out about it today, didn't you?
Yeah, I know, but still. I've forgotten a lot of stuff then. That wasn't nice. That wasn't nice at all. But anyway.
Their disastrous pitch leaves them still desperate for new customers. And, increasingly worryingly, they could be taken off the Tesco shelves in just 4 weeks.
The D word, we call it. That's the D list. They delist the whole range, and you go, oh my God. And it's like the world's just dropped off, you know, it's stopped, because that is, you know, potentially, you know, absolutely devastating news to the workforce and everybody else. So, you know, you lose business, and it's shocking.
If they want to stay on the supermarket shelves, they need to get all their other marketing tools together. And these days, I'm afraid, Andrew, that means getting with it and using social media.
Twitter is about the dullest creation that ever was. And I think it's quite sad, actually. You know, imagine if you're alone in your bedroom, twittering.
Social media has changed the way brands communicate with their customers. Once they were restricted to expensive TV, radio and press advertising. Now they have globally effective online tools such as Facebook, YouTube and Twitter. London, the heart of Britain's vibrant social media industry. I've brought Andrew and Jamie here to convince them how valuable social media is, especially for a small business like Heck.
Research has just come out which shows that 24 million Britons use Facebook every single day. Every day. So Facebook in particular, you ignore at your peril. As I've always said to you, I'm not a social media guru, but we're going to go and see people who are.
Partners Andrews Aldridge are experts in the field, having masterminded social media strategies for big brands like Rolls-Royce. When they developed a social media launch for whiskey brand The Glenlivet, the result was a 1,600% increase on YouTube views, and bottles flew off the supermarket shelf.
Andrew's very suspicious of social media. I think the phrase he used to me was, for him it's rather like the emperor's new clothes. He doesn't see how that drive sales, which is what he's ultimately interested in. Do you think you could discuss how that works, basically?
It's essentially giving you a platform to reach a large number of individuals really cost effectively. They're free platforms, you can say what you want, and you can be part of the conversation. You can shape, you can influence, and that's how you need to think about it.
I think the average person checks their Facebook about 16 times a day. And there has been research around how likely are people to purchase products because of the social media presence of brands. It's actually 80% of consumers
Is that in food as well, then?
Food, just food, yeah. 80% said they are more likely to purchase the product after being influenced by the social media presence of a brand. We know that 89% of small business marketers are already using Twitter. 75% are already using Facebook, and 65% are already using YouTube. So that actually says something to us.
So, what are we going to call her?
Fanny. I want to call her Fanny.
Looking for maximum brand exposure, Iron Brew were aware of the power of social media.
Fanny. I like it.
This is the You Called Your Baby Fanny campaign. Iron Brew gave a chance for one of their followers, so one of their kind of loyalists, and you've got followers, you can use these people, to be the first person to have the film. And that one fan who had 300 followers said, this is a new Iron Brew film, I'm the first person to have it. So that kind of fear of missing out on the new thing is great. So I want to be the next person to tweet that straight away. I want to be one of the first 300 if I can't be the first one. If I'm not one of the first 300, I want to be the second 6,000. And then I want to be one of the first 100,000. By the end of the week, they had 1 million shares from one person sharing it, and not a lot of followers.
And by 2017, Cisco expects 67% of all consumer internet traffic to be video.
Yeah.
So video is something you need to be doing.
Now, let's get to some fun stuff. June the 23rd is the happiest day of the year. So we all know about Blue Monday in the middle of January where people are all depressed. Well, sausage is a happy thing. Why don't we get people to kind of stick their heck on the fork, put it in front of their face, you've got a little sausage smile, you post it up, and it's a heck of a smile, and everybody kind of does that. So you own a moment in time. And it doesn't matter if not a lot of people start, because these things kind of gain momentum. So next year, it'll double or triple or whatever. And this is the heck sausage roll, and it's a really simple idea, which is basically people roll through the frame of the camera. So you're holding up your iPhone or whatever, and someone just does a forward roll, they pass it on to a friend, and then they have to do it, and it builds up a giant film. Most notably, Nike did this for the last World Cup, and had millions of people, because people can feel involved in it. It's a really simple thing to do.
No, it's a great idea. Really like that.
Aren't they brilliant ideas?
They are.
I
Fantastic.
mean, good Lord.
Yeah. It's been really encouraging, actually, to see Andrew particularly change during the course of the day. I think he started a cynic, and I think he's left a believer and an advocate.
This afternoon's been hugely beneficial. I'm very serious about investing in social media because it is affordable. It is. We can't go and take an advert out in the Daily Mail, and it's questionable how many you'd hit with that. I think we can definitely sort of speak to the people we want to speak to.
Andrew certainly seems to be convinced now of the validity of social media. Now all we have to do is make some of it happen.
I have to say, come on everybody, give it a go.
Feeling inspired, the family gets social with their ideas.
It's a steep hill.
This is quite steep.
There's a dog shit there.
You got to say, this is a sausage roll, guys.
Guys,
yeah.
This is a sausage roll, guys. Give it a go.
You three could all make a H.
Does it look like an H?
That's an H, isn't it?
Legs together.
Legs together, Ellie.
Yeah.
Good advice from your mother. Well, you never know, it might catch on.
You never know.
It's great fun, isn't it, Ellie? Dave, stop moving your camera. Hold it in one position.
This is the tumble.
You got it?
Yeah.
Right, well done. We're going to put that one together.
This is family fun that makes good business sense and the potential for a heck of a lot of free advertising.
Well, push it up now then. Put it on FaceTune.
With the social media strategy on a roll, Debbie has some news which might just keep their dreams alive for now.
So, what's happened with supermarket listings?
Tesco's have agreed to continue our listing for another year, so that's a relief.
Good. Well, that's amazing, darling. So you've come some way. And have you started using seasoning?
Andrew's actually gone out and ordered a boatload of salt.
Yes.
So there's no going back.
It's great to hear they're putting the new seasoning into practice, and the Tesco's renewal is a huge relief. But as the last 12 months have shown, Tesco's alone will still leave them failing to make a profit. Unless they get onto more supermarket shelves, the future could be bleak. So, I've managed to secure a pitch with quality northern retailer Booths. This supermarket chain started as a family business back in 1847. It may not be one of the big five, but it still has a turnover nudging £300 million. This is a real opportunity they cannot afford to mess up.
That's fantastic. I mean, I've been trying to get to him for young.
I know, well, good.
Well done.
Last blast.
Bloody great, I tell you what, that's fantastic.
Good.
I'm delighted. I actually told Debbie to stop shopping at Booths.
Because there's one in
stopped
reference.
shopping
Don't
at
you dare
Booths.
go in there, because they won't take my email.
Seriously, I've been up for ages.
Good.
That is absolutely fantastic.
They haven't completely dismissed my attempts to get alternative customers from the service industry. But right now, Booths may be the family's key to survival, and their social media efforts could be starting to pay dividends. There's been a tweet from Nigella Lawson saying, discovered a combo of sausage and burger, hex fair and square. Perfect for a sandwich. Yay! They've arrived. She has 600,000 followers. It's incredibly important for brand awareness. Now I just want to translate that into sausages bought. I've been with the family 3 months, and we've worked on every area of their business. I think they're finally ready to put all my ideas and advice into practice. This is their chance to make it all count by winning the contract at Booths. But getting their foot in the door of a completely new retailer will be much tougher than achieving their recent relisting with Tesco's, especially when Booth's sausage cabinets hold nearly 80% own label, making it a tight squeeze for any small independent. They haven't had a massive amount of success in pitching to new supermarkets. So, to achieve the 29 Booth supermarkets would be a feather in their cap, and one I'm really keen for them to achieve.
Who's going into the pitch?
Me and Mum.
That's interesting. I am absolutely amazed. I've finally got them the opportunity they've been so desperate for, and they send in Debbie and Ellie, who are the least experienced at pitching.
You're going in together?
Yeah.
Are you dividing and conquering? Or is Ellie just coming for the experience?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's good just to go there and be completely silent.
No.
Because, you know, then it's...
Yeah.
Okay.
You've got lots of good ideas, and the fact you've got a Booth loyalty card, I think, is... It means you've got something in common.
It would be nice if there was a contribution, because otherwise I think it's kind of a bit awkward, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Well, I expect you to come out and tell me something scintillating and incisive that you've added to the conversation. Can Debbie and Ellie do enough to convince Booth's buyer, Keith Parkinson?
Want to take a seat?
Thank you.
Right. So, what were your reasonings behind the heck? You know, what does heck mean to the customer?
We did some research and before we developed the packaging, and we sort of wanted to produce something that everything was a given, really. So whilst there's so many things that we can say about the product, we didn't want to put it all on the packet. You know, we don't put sort of 100% traceable because it should be, shouldn't it? I mean, you shouldn't have to say that.
Yeah, but equally so, it's having all the information available to the customer, and not necessarily just assuming that the customer will know.
Keith's concern about lack of provenance on the packaging is something I asked them to look into at the start of this process.
just off face value, just looking at the packaging the way it is, I think there's some work to be done on conveying the sort of real passion about that you have for the product and how we can convey that across to the customer. It comes back to the why would a customer want to pick up the Heck brand over another brand that we're potentially
Well, I think it's certainly, as far as we're concerned, I mean, it's all about, you know, saying, well, we found that we've sort of been through
So?
How'd you get on?
It's all right.
It's quite tough.
What was your gut feeling?
He didn't understand why they were called Heck.
He said he's really confused about the brand name and how packaging, why would anyone buy that packaging?
Why would anyone pick it up?
They've turned up today with the same packaging they had 3 months ago. That, combined with their decision to send in Debbie and Ellie, may have lost them a vital new buyer.
It really frustrates me. It makes me a bit cross. I want them to just, I just want to, oh gosh. It's like carrying around a dead weight quite often, you know, and I just want to energise them. This is just, come on. You know, this is an opportunity in a lifetime to get this much help for your little business. You know, I think that they may be missing that.
While we wait to hear back from booths, there's one other key issue I need to address. Throughout this process, I've noticed Ellie has contributed very little to the business. I'm not 100% sure Debbie and Andrew are being realistic about her responsibilities.
Come and sit down.
So, to help us all evaluate Ellie's role objectively, we're going to interview her for her own job.
What I'd like to know is what do you think your strengths are?
It'd probably be talking to customers. I'm quite good at that. Knowing a lot about the product and what goes into it.
What opportunities do you see for this brand and you as a brand ambassador?
Opportunities?
Yes.
I don't really want to see, I don't know.
Do you think you're organised?
I can be. There's days where I'm a bit kind of away.
You're not very organised, are you?
Well, no, I can be.
Because your time keeping's not great at the moment, and I just think that is, you know, because you are a bit sort of slow at getting to work and things, and getting out to bed and all the rest of it.
No, if I set an alarm on my phone, I don't hear it.
Well, get yourself a big alarm, darling. That's not a great excuse.
That's the easiest thing to put right.
That's an easy thing to put right, but it's
Dad that wakes me up.
But it's an important thing, darling. I mean, I used to go out all night dancing and still be at work in the morning because I like doing that.
You've got to be a self-starter, haven't you?
You've got to be a self-starter. You don't want to have to be turfed out of bed by your mum or your dad, darling.
You don't.
That is a bit.
It means you're in the wrong job, really, because it means you're not enjoying it.
Yeah.
Because you know what the risk is for you particularly, because you're the baby and you're the girl, is that actually you get given a bit more rope. But that's not brilliant for you, because one of these days you're going to, you know, whether it's here or somewhere else, you really are going to have to go out and earn your way in the world. And this is not great training for that, right? You know, I feel that really passionately. That, you know, this has got to be something that is good for you and good for them. It's got to be good both ways.
Yeah, absolutely. Good luck.
Stop putting your fingernails in your mouth.
I can't help it.
I think it's good for you to have those kind of discussions.
Well, we haven't had enough of them, and actually when you do have a discussion, it shows you how she's not really enjoying what she's doing.
Well, not getting job satisfaction because she doesn't know.
Do you think she feels like it's a dead-end job?
Well, I know, but did I think waitressing was a dead-end job?
Well, no. You didn't,
because I loved it, and B, it was a stepping stone to what I thought I might want to do.
They seem very concerned with what time you wake up in the morning. Is this a constant thing? Is this a theme?
Yeah, it's a habit. So in college I didn't have to get up till later. It isn't too bad.
Ellie is going through a bit of a teenagery bit. She's a bit of a spoilt brat, actually, so she needs a kick up the bottom, really. we can only carry her for so long, so she needs to buck up her ideas or, you know, get another job.
We do need to remember that Ellie is only 18. Maybe giving her such a critical role in the company was a bit unfair. She may just need to learn the ropes for a while. They will need to resolve this for everyone's sake. A few days later, unexpectedly, there's a glimmer of hope from the buyer at Booths.
Keith's very kindly come back to us with a list of sort of things that they'd like us to look at.
Booths like the sausages enough to give Heck a second chance, if they can make some amendments to the packaging.
The consistency of the gluten-free message, so we need to get the tab on every single pack so it looks uniform, which is, you know, he's quite right. And upweight the Providence message, you're Yorkshire and proud. Well, we are Yorkshire and proud. The current passion does not convey this.
I think it's that what the heck attitude that we need to get across there.
What do you think?
Knowing to take nothing for granted, it's down to business.
Meet our team, I think it's good. Yeah, we'll look at putting some face on the front of that. Stick onto the shelf-ready packaging, right in the middle.
What, like that, or you want to...
Yeah, no, that's like that.
There's a sticker on the pack, young, fun and having a go.
So who's Heck, who's not? So, David Cameron, not Heck. No, he's definitely not Heck, is he? But who would be Heck? Johnson. He'd be Heck. He'd be Heck, wouldn't he?
Prince Harry's quite Heck.
He's very Heck. He's Heck. He was naked with a load of
That's not
people know it. It's quite Heck.
That's dirty.
It's quite Heck if you remember the royal family.
3 weeks later, Andrew is back to deliver Heck's revised product.
We've done quite a lot since we last saw these guys. We've done some changes on some new packs. We've got Proud Independent. That's one of the things that came out through Alex's conversations. Yeah, we've got some delicious sausages, and I think I'll be very happy with them, hopefully. He's expecting them, so if you take good care of those, that'd be grand. Cheers, thank you very much indeed. That's it, the lap of the gods now.
Throughout this process, there's been a sensitive issue playing on my mind, Ellie's role in the family business. But 3 months after I first arrived, I'm relieved to hear Andrew and Debbie are finally being more realistic.
I think she's probably just a little bit too young to join the business. Not that, well, certainly in a role of responsibility. She needs just a little bit like a year out.
Which has got huge potential, but we're just not getting out of her correctly.
I think she just needs time to grow up a bit more, you know.
My intention was never to undermine Ellie's involvement in the family business. But now it's being re-evaluated, I want to ensure she's thinking positively about her future.
If, let's say, it doesn't start making money,
Yeah.
and it closed, what would you do?
I don't know, really. I'd probably have to go out and start looking for jobs straight away. Me and my dad have actually spoken about it, going out and working for another company for a couple of months.
I think it would be good, darling. Also, you should think about what aspect it is of Heck that you want to concentrate on further down the line, and try and go to a company that's going to give you experience in that aspect of working.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, if you're going to do merchandise, maybe you should go and do, you know, spend some time in a design company,
Yeah.
see how things happen. You've got to think about what it is that you really want to do, and not be a passive. Don't be so passive. Don't let the world don't just be dragged along in the slipstream, darling.
Yeah.
Because I know you're young, but it's good to be young and to have an idea about what you want to do in life, rather than just tip out of bed and, you know, and do it because it's there.
Yeah.
Yes?
I get what you mean, yeah, I agree with
I
that.
want to energise you and make you feel like, you know, the world should be your oyster at this age.
I feel more confident now about Ellie, and I'm pleased to hear Jamie's got a proper grip on the company's facts and figures and is playing a key role in the business.
He has stepped up to the plate. He's been coming to a lot of retailer meetings with me now, and I think he's wanting to get more involved in the business. Because, you know, he's always been a bit slow on the uptake, really, but he absolutely gets it now. Okay, got it.
But the future for Heck could all rest on a decision from Booths.
Hi there.
Now, we'd had Booths on the phone,
Yes.
And it is good news, so we have got him. So it's good, isn't it?
Fantastic, well done.
Well, it's not well done, me. You know, well, actually, he is well done. Actually.
Brilliant, well done, fantastic.
Hi, Alex.
Hi.
So I'm just here with Debbie. Yeah. We've just had booths on the phone, and they've given us a listing, which is fantastic news.
Well done! Woo! That's great news. At last, we have something to celebrate.
We do indeed, yeah. So we're pulling a cork and raising a glass to you tonight.
I'm thrilled to hear your good news. I send you all lots of love.
All right, take care of yourself.
Thanks, Alex. Bye.
Bye. 4 months ago, I took on a family business bursting with potential but riddled with problems.
Sometimes you can't see the wood for trees, and it's a brilliant expression. That's really how it was. And now we can see the clearings, we can see everything that we need to see, I think, a lot better than we did beforehand.
But this small business's decision to put themselves at the mercy of the powerful supermarkets appears to be finally paying off, and the floodgates are opening.
I got an email from Asda confirming that we've got 280 stores, which is absolutely fantastic. Yep, another door opening, and she's from Waitrose. That's really good.
They're now on the shelves of over 1,000 stores and a step closer to realising their dream of being the #1 premium brand.
I absolutely have faith in the Keebles that they'll be able to do whatever they set their minds to. They're pretty 10 foot tall and bulletproof, that lot. And obviously they take enormous comfort from the fact that they're working as a family.
This process has been invaluable because it has made us look at roles with the kids. It's certainly been tougher, but a lot fairer.
And for the very first time this month, they haven't faced a loss.
£1,500 of profit is really small, but it's a bloody hell. We'll have that, thank you very much indeed. And we ain't going to go back to losing money. That's it. It's a turning point. £1,500 of profit will be 15 grand in a couple of months' time. I think 2014 is going to be a fantastic year.